I'm back. Oh my goodness. Hello everyone. I hope you'll be joining this new video. I had technical difficulties. I'm going to wait until a couple people join to tell you about it because I can't believe. Pets, 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 pets. So hopefully a couple people will start joining here pretty soon. I know that there were some people who were planning to come and then I had my problems. So please let me know if you have joined so I can say hello. Hello, hello. I hope you can see me. It looks like it's working from what I can tell. Let's see if I can tell. Maybe. Anybody out there? Okay, it looks like I am properly live, so just wait a couple minutes, especially since I had problems. Let's see. I wonder if I can invite people, maybe. I don't seem to have the normal things here. Anybody? Maybe I should just start. Well, I had problems because my cat jumped up here and knocked over my camera. And then nothing would work. Ah, there's Janine. Hello, Janine. I tell you what. And Elkie, hello, 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 hello. You guys, I had everything perfect, set up, ready to go. My cat jumped up right when I pushed the button to start live, knocked over my camera. Not even joking. How does that happen? It made my camera turn sideways. I couldn't get it to go back. So I don't know. He'll probably be back because he's ridiculous and he does this. He jumps up all the time and I try to tell him no. But hopefully you guys can hear me. Just let me know if for some reason you can't hear me. Thank you for joining me. He's such a dork. He's my crazy cat. I call him my crazy cat because he's crazy. But thanks for coming. Sorry for the goofy delay there. It's all a feline's fault. All a feline's fault, I'm telling you. He'll probably be back. I'm just letting you know. He's like an orange striped cat. He jumps up here all the time. Okay, so I'm going to do the card that I was supposed to do last week. I'm really sorry. I don't know what was up with me. My stomach really hurt. It wouldn't stop. Oh, good. Elkie, you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that was super annoying because I kept thinking, is this going to go away? I'd really like to do my live, but thanks for being patient with me and waiting till this week. But I am going to do this card. So I have to tell you, I know for a fact that my camera on my computer, hi Lisa, is so not as good quality as the one on my phone. So that's why I look a little fuzzy because I have some serious bright lights on me. Doesn't seem to help. It's all because of my camera. Kim, you are so right, Christopher. Completely knocked over my camera. It was crazy. So hopefully he doesn't come back. But anyway, this is what we're gonna do. This is the masculine card that I made, and I will probably go ahead and. Oh, I want to show you something first because I have some cool stuff I got in the mail just because it's exciting. Speaking of cats, so I don't know, you guys all know there's a new catalog coming out. A bunch of you are going to be getting it. I know for a fact I sent it to some of you directly. So there's new stuff coming, and I'm very excited about one set in particular because why? It's a cat. Look, it's cats. I can make cat stuff all the time. I'm so happy. And we already have a punch that goes with this, so I'm super excited about that. So we got a punch and a stamp set, and there's more. There's a dog one too. So of course I had to get all the pet ones because I'm a pet fiend. I mean, I like every animal on the earth, so I had to get the pet ones because they're so cute and they have the best sentiments. So I'm very excited about the pet ones. I can't wait to play with these. I haven't even gotten to yet because they just arrived. Um, yes, cats galore. We all know that I have cats galore, right? There's a lot of them, but only one who jumps up on my desk all the time. There's a few more I want to show you before I start, just because they're very cool. This one's great for man cards. There we go. How about that? If you have somebody in your life that likes cars, or frankly, there's even, Elkie, I am your Snow White. It's very true. If you saw my backyard, it's so covered with birdseed. This one is so perfect if you have people that in your life that like cars or anything. There's even some great like tool related things. It's really good. And it has thinlits that go with it, but I don't have those out or handy. I'll show them another time, but super excited about those two. And the last thing is this celebration. It's coming up January 3rd. That's when the new catalog starts. And when celebration is around, for every $50 you spend, you get a free gift, and you get to choose various gifts. So I have some gifts to show you. This is one of the stamp sets that's in the free gift selection, and it's frogs. Cute little frogs. Of course, it's critters. I have to have critters. And then this one I thought was really good because it's perfect for birthdays. So those were free. I didn't pay for those. Pretty handy, right? So I'm totally looking forward to celebration. And if you don't have a catalog, some of you will be getting them soon. I'm not exactly sure when Stampin' Up! Sends them out because I had them sent to you directly. So I should know that, but I don't know the answer to that. So anyway, let's start making a card. Let's hope that my transition works this time. So give me a minute. Hey, there it is. Oh, see, I didn't get it quite right, did I? Whenever Christopher did his thing. So here's the card. I think you'll be able to see it better, I'm pretty sure, with the, hang on one second, I'm just making sure I can see what you guys are saying. Yes, I agree, Lisa. Celebration is a good time. So this I thought would be a great man card, and it has a number of different pieces and parts to it. Actually, my sister's on. Kim, this is for your son, and I'm late in sending it. I'm terrible. I haven't sent my poor nephew's birthday card yet. Anyway, this one has regular dry embossing and also some of the wet embossing or powder embossing, and we're going to do both. So I think we better start with that to make sure this part dries. I don't know if all of you are familiar with the embossing, but let's get started. So to do that, I've got a piece of green Mossy Meadow. I already pre-cut it just because it was a little easier to have that one pre-cut. And then this is where you get to use a heat tool and some powder and my handy dandy embossing buddy. And I am using a stamp set from this Gallery Grunge. I loved this when I saw it because I like all the different backgrounds you can use for various things. And I'm using this one right here. So let me move that out of the way. I did very random stamping for this, but it's handy to have the embossing buddy because what that does, you just put that on your piece of paper and then brush it across your paper. It ensures that when you're putting the embossing on it, it only goes where you want it. You don't get those specks very easily. That's the curse of the demonstrator, Lisa. I'm working on 50. Yes. Yeah, we're all delayed in our Christmas cards. Who's still working on Christmas cards? Who's still getting Christmas gifts? I'm curious. I think I've got most of my Christmas gifts. All right, so I'm going to be using my Versamark, which is the gold standard for when you are going to be embossing. It's like essentially a watermark type stamp. So if you didn't want to emboss it, it would come across like you've put a watermark on your paper. But since I'm going to be using it for embossing, it's very sticky, so it holds that powder super well. Look, that would be a cat hair. See? He's in so much trouble for jumping up here. I'm going to have to get him. Heavens, I'm dropping things. Yeah. All right, nice and sticky. So I just did a couple. I wanted just a tiny bit, a hint of it. And this would be up to you if you were working on it. You could put it wherever you want. So you just put the design where you want it. And then you want to make sure you're done with both. Look at you, Janine. Thank goodness for the Stamparatus. That's true. Yeah, I know I could be using the Stamparatus for this. So once you get that on there, you want to make sure you get the powder on before it starts to dry. That's kind of important. I mean, you have a little while, but you don't want to let it sit for too long. And you just pour the powder right over it and then knock it off. Ah, Kim is wrapping gifts. The last of the gifts. Okay, so you just tap that off. I don't know, are you guys all familiar with embossing? Have all of you done this? I don't know, my sister probably hasn't. She's not really a card maker. She's just nice to watch me. It went away. Hang on, I'm going to fix it. I thought I figured it out, you guys, but I didn't. So let me fix that. Hang on, bear with me. Sorry. One moment. I don't know why it's doing this. I thought I fixed my problem, but I didn't. So 1 second. Just bear with me. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to have to look into that some more. Oh, you have done embossing, Kim. Well, then you're familiar. It's a little, with the white, it's a little harder to see whenever it's changed, I think. Well, not as hard as it is whenever you're doing the clear. I think the clear is the hardest one to tell. But some of it is this stamp set. It's so diffuse, I guess, if you will. It's not as easy to tell when it's all the way done. Okay. So you see it totally changes the way it looks. You see that okay? It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? Anyway, so I'm going to set it aside because I want to make sure that's completely dry before I run that through the embossing. Oh yeah, black embossing on black paper. That would be really challenging. Okay, so let's do the wood next. Let me set this aside. Oh, I have my very messy, oh my gosh, I've done it again. I forgot the name. Lisa can tell me. Lisa, help me remember the name. Chamois. My chamois, which is very handy. It's just like a nice little wet thing to clean things off with. So this one is part of the Winter Woods stamp set, which is the other stamp set I used for this card. This one's awesome for making many different, I would say, seasons. It wouldn't even have to be birthday cards, but of course it could be Christmas cards or anything, really. And for that, I used Early Espresso, and I did it on crumb cake. And I'm starting here with a bigger piece of crumb cake, and I'm just going to cut it. Yes, thank you, Lisa. This happens to me every time I'm doing my live videos. I cannot remember the name of my products properly. So I chose to do the thicker part on the top. And I did it twice. Kind of tried to line them up pretty good anyway. It's the one nice thing about having these clear stamps. All right. I have the older one of my espresso, but instead of the new ones. It's nice and stuck, isn't it? Okay, I'll set that one aside for later. So I just cut this because this isn't, it's not like a perfect rectangle, so I just did some fussy cutting. But when you're talking about fussy cutting something like this, it's not too bad. Squares are not too terrible. Is anybody crafting along with me? I know Kim is wrapping gifts. What you guys working on tonight? Anything? Anything? There we go. So that's all there is to that. So now for the background, I did do, a layer of white just so it would pop up pretty well. Oh, let me use this one. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut around it. Because with a square, I should be able to get that right. Oh, Janine's in bed with her pups. It's nice, though. Nice, relaxing night. What are you up to, Elkie? I think you're still there. Oh, good. Lisa's crafting. I know. Isn't it like the perfect thing to do? You can get ideas, watch somebody work on something. I love watching people craft and then trying to do stuff at the same time. Sometimes it gives me ideas, while I'm working. Okay, so that's ready. I actually think we'll go ahead and stamp these little pieces. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a tiny little, kind of like a watermark, except I used crumb cake for that. All right, so let me see if I can bring my cutter over here because I didn't actually cut my layer for the bottom first. This one's just cut in half. I have a tendency to really like the elongated open. I don't know what that's called, but I like that open fold as opposed to maybe just the regular fold. I so often cut my cards in this way. So, and then we will go ahead and put the scoring in it. All right. Just make sure that is nice and creased. Okay. So that's this stamp. That one is also from the first stamp set I showed you, the Gallery Grunge. That's this one here. It's a great set for lots of backgrounds, honestly. Oh, and I did that one in crumb cake. I'm trying to pay attention to make sure my camera doesn't go away again. I have got to figure that one out, you guys. For the life of me, I thought I had it fixed. Okay, so I just did some here or there that I thought would show up on the sides. In fact, I think I did only 3. There's no perfection needed, of course. All right, so there's that one. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. That way I get most of my stamping done. And I used Mossy Meadow for my sentiment. And actually, to cut that out, I used some of my thinlits. I used this cute thinlit. I think I might have used this on the last card we did. It's from the Merry Christmas thinlit dies. Yeah, which are actually going to be sticking around, which I'm happy about because they're very useful. But it's always best to stamp first and then cut. Then you don't have to try to be all perfect about getting it in the center. It's a little gift. So now my happy birthday sentiment is actually from a fun set in the Occasions catalog. Let's see. Who knows why Crystal had to buy this stamp set? Those of you who know me well. I know you know the answer. If you know me well. Hint, hint, hint. Hint. Because it's got a lovely little boombox on it, right? And anything that looks like it came from the 80s has to become part of my selection, of course. All right, so let's do this happy birthday. That was a little glitter. All right. Nice and easy. All right. So I will go ahead and cut that out now while I'm thinking of it. Let's just move stuff out of the way. I'll bring my big shot over. What about your husband, Kim? Did you guys get your card? Is that why you're saying that? Because I used that stamp set to make his birthday card. I bet that's why you're saying that. Oh, let me get the magnetic platform. I'm going to use the magnetic platform so it stays put. Yeah, it was. It is on his card. That's the stamp set I used. I hope he thought it was funny that I called him retro instead of old. All right, we're going to cut that through. There it is. Pretty simple. So actually, I think I will leave this here because now we need to do the embossing, and this one's going to be fun. This is what I use to do the embossing. This is the corrugated textured impressions embossing folder, and it's really cool because it looks kind of like we used to years ago have a crank one that we did, but it's a little bit different. I think they're just a tiny bit different, maybe a little finer, I guess would be the right word. So I'm going to put that in here. Now I need a different base than the magnetic one because I'm embossing. So I have to have this kind. And actually, since this is the dynamic impressions, I think I used a dynamic one last time. You can see they're really thick. You only need one layer to do it. So I want to make sure I get this right. I did it that way. So you just need to make your sandwich that on the bottom and then one layer on top when you're using the dynamic ones. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and run it backwards once. Let's see how it comes out. Ah, yes. That's what I like. It's pretty cool, right? Especially with the stamped image. I like that. Something different. All right, let's move this out of the way. So we have the majority of our pieces, I do believe, here. We've got that. Got this, if I can pick it up. And then the part that we stamped in the background. So now it's time for some assembling. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it, Janine. I think it's always so hard to come up with the masculine cards. But that's one of the reasons why I love that new set that has the car on it. Because even if you're not a car person, there's ways that you could make that pretty masculine looking, I think. Now, I did actually double dimensional layers because I just liked the way it looked. So you probably can't see that, but so I've got my good old handy dimensionals here. But before I put that on, I need to tie my knot. I've got two different kinds of twine. One of them is actually from the Christmas catalog. I think this is called, oh, heavens, of course I can't remember. But it's in the the holiday catalog, and it comes with cherry cobbler, mossy meadow, and white. So I'm just using the mossy meadow. Now this one I know is part of the Nature's Twine set. So I put these two together, and they are different. This one's a lot more coarse, and this one's pretty soft. But they're good colors, I think, masculine colors to go with a masculine card. So I am going to put this around just to kind of guess. I didn't measure beforehand to see how much I would need. Can't seem to keep a hold of it. I'm going to guess. About right there. I'd always rather have a little too much myself. Okay. Do men even like cards? I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I know that I usually get looks from my husband like, why am I getting this? So I don't know if they truly like it, but they're getting one anyway, in my opinion, from me. And people often want masculine card ideas. I see that all the time, that they want the masculine card ideas. So I try to throw some in every so often because we never seem to have enough of them. Oh, I'm terrible at tying these knots with these fake nails, y'all. But I did a double knot because I wanted it to stay. Plus, I liked the way it looked. Anybody else have trouble doing things if they get fake nails? Maybe none of you need them. I can't grow nails for anything. They will not grow at all. Here, let me try to make that a little tighter. There. Okay, that works. So I got to trim it off, obviously. Got a couple not quite the same lengths here. I'll mess with that whenever we get closer to putting it on. Okay, those done. So now the other thing that was kind of interesting about this card is I wanted it to look kind of off kilter a little bit, not perfectly straight. I just liked the way that appeared. So that will be no problem for putting this bottom layer on. Hang on a minute, you guys. Hi. I will try to fix it. I don't know why. It doesn't want to do its thing. At least you get to see my face every so often, right? The glue dots stick to mine too. It's very true. Very true. They really do. Hang on a minute. Okay. Let's see if we can get back to it. I have got to figure out why that keeps happening. So it was no problem to put this on diagonally here. The big thing that I had trouble with is putting this sentiment on straight. I was trying to put it straight. I could not tell. Honestly, I still can't tell if I got it on there straight. So, all right. I'm kind of a dimensional user for sure. I don't like it to be sunk in the middle. Well, I don't think I use as much as some of the ladies I've watched, like Kylie Bertucci. She uses a ton of them. So what else is new with everybody? We're putting this on a little crooked. Are you guys all going to stay near your homes for Christmas, or are you going somewhere else? So I'm putting dimensionals on the back of this too. I will be here at Christmas, but I will be seeing some of my extended family at New Year's. Yay! And I don't need any in the middle on this one because the ribbon is kind of thicker and it'll stay. All right, so on that one, I put it a little bit that way. Now comes the challenging part. putting this on straight, it's almost like it's better if it's straight with the branches, not necessarily with the card. Ah, sister-in-laws. Okay, Lisa's staying home. Oh, that's nice, Janine. You're gonna be with the kids for Christmas. So I'm thinking it might be better if I line it up with the wood branches. And to put that on, I just did this. Good old snail for that one. And that's it. Finished. So it's not a very time consuming card, even though there's a number of steps to it. But it's amazing how the ones that have this sort of woodsy look always seem to do well for a masculine card. Another day and a half of work. Oh, Kim, that's wonderful. I wish that were me. Not so much. All right, let me switch back over. At least that part works, right? I just got to figure out how or why my mobile phone will not stay connected. Maybe my techie sister can help me look into that since she's watching. So I appreciate you guys joining me. See, that didn't even take 30 minutes really to do that card. So keep that in mind. It doesn't always have to be super detailed. It can be something that really comes out quite nice from not much to it. So I hope that that gave you guys some ideas. And Lisa, you're so funny. Well, you never know. Oh, you just had a birthday. You just had a birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't even have to be masculine. If you're somebody who just likes the outdoors, it'd be perfect for that too. It would be good for that. I love the stamp set. The Winter Woods one, truly, it has a great set of die cuts that go with it. They're out of this world. I love them. And so it's more that it's gonna. I'm sorry. I'm really happy it's gonna stick around because it's sticking around. It's not going away from the holidays. So I have a couple of housekeeping things I want to tell you. I am not planning on having. Janine, thank you. That's very kind. I'm not planning on having a Facebook Live next Monday. I do believe it's Christmas or Christmas Eve. Hang on, I can't remember the date. It's Christmas Eve. So I figure everybody's going to be a little busy that day. So maybe no live that day. But I might try to figure out. Thank you, Elkie. Thank you. It's very kind of you guys. I might try to figure out sort of a random time to do a live, and if so, I'll try to give a heads up when I'm going to do it. It's just hard to know exactly what all is going to be going on. Me too, Lisa. I hope it stays for a while because I really like it. And then the same thing is unfortunately for New Year's. I believe that's also a Monday. New Year's Eve is also a Monday. So it's a little bit of a hectic time. I'm not necessarily planning to do lives on those 2 nights, but I'm hoping that maybe I could find some time to do it on a different day, during that week. It just sort of depends on how things are going to go. So if I am going to do that, I will keep you guys posted. I don't have it on my calendar right now to have either of those Mondays, so it shouldn't be there. But I wanted to be sure I let you know and say Merry Christmas to all of you who've been kind enough to join me while I'm venturing into this new frontier of doing live videos. As you can see, I am continuing to have little snafus, but I'm going to figure them out. And hopefully I'll be even more silly and fun because that's what makes it fun, I think. But thank you for joining me. I'll let you guys go enjoy your evening and go create something because that's what's fun about this hobby. All right, bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas.